Welcome back, everyone! PS5 season is upon us. Oh boy, this console is super cool and also super rare. Now, what is a console without games? It'd probably just be considered a computer at that point, right? This plush just kind of showed up on my desk, so I'm gonna have to respect that. The PS5 launched with 3 first-party games. A remake of a PS3 game, a sequel, sort of, to 2018's Marvel Spider-Man, and my favorite of the bunch, Sackboy: A Big Adventure. Just like A Hat in Time, nobody talks about this game due to it being overlooked by the 20 other games that are released that same week. But as a Little Big Planet fan, I picked this one up, along with Spider-Man, but that doesn't count, and man, this is good. Now, is this a Little Big Planet game? No, not really. Is the reboot? I don't know, a reimagining, a remake, who knows what it is. Whatever it is, it's fantastic. Made by Sumo Digital, the same people who messed up the series. You better please me. Now we also have a new narrator, Dawn French, who also plays the role of Scarlet, who is like Sackboy's teacher. Man, I wish they just got Stephen Fry for this. He would have been great. Just imagine him taking Scarlet's role.
Select something that says, hey, I'm a sack person. Get used to it. Now
we start off in the village of Loon. It's a peaceful day and everyone is just vibing. But suddenly the main antagonist Vex shows up, played by Richard E. Grant. Now Vex is an epic antagonist. His design is super cool and voice acting is spot on. He has the perfect amount of sarcasm and is highly threatening. Compared to Newton,
slight change of plan. I think I will destroy you instead.
By far the best antagonist in the Little Big Planet series. So he kidnaps all these sacklings and sends them off to be slaves and construct the Topsy-Turvy. Whoa, okay, hold up there. That's really dark. I'm definitely sure there isn't any other historical incidences that raise controversy very similar to this. So since Sackboy is the protagonist, Vex gives him a chance to escape. Because he's the protagonist. That makes sense. Anyway, Sackboy grabs his plans, hops into a pod, and blasts off to save his friends. Where have I seen this plot before? Oh! Now this is a fun plot, but I've got some problems with it, of course. First off, this is a multiplayer-based game, and the plot is about saving your friends. Where do the other 3 sacklings come from? It's implied that the other 3 sacklings are from a parallel universe. Really? That's the best you could come up with? Now this would have been better if they made a plot more akin to Yoshi's Crafted World instead of Woolly World. Huh, ironic. Get it? 'Cause he's made of wool? In that game, the antagonist sort of stole the hope and wonder from the world in the form of a stone. That plot would fit way better in the context of this gameplay. Since in Crafted World none of the Yoshis are harmed, they could have gone the adventure, but they're just cowards who want to stay in a stranded forest. Great! Sackboy narrowly escaped slavery and is off to the village, and man, look at this. I thought that Crafted World looked really good despite what everyone thought, but man, this looks amazing. The art direction is great and so creative. Everything looks handmade, and it has that Little Big Planet feeling. So instead of the classic 2.5D we grew used to at this point, this is a full 3D platformer, similar to that of 3D World. So many people say this, but it's true, Sackboy is a joy to play. He moves a little bit slower than most platformer characters, but has a new roll move that speeds him up and consequently makes it a little bit harder to control. He also has a new slap attack which can be used on enemies. A grab that is far better than the floppiness of the previous titles, and the defining trait, the flutter. Why is he so similar to Yoshi? This move gives Sackboy some extra airtime and more precision. and it feels really similar to Peach's Float in 3D World. Yeah, I like this way better than the original titles. There are also 3 new power-ups. First we have the World Tool, which is the boomerang flower in the Mario universe. It's mostly used for chopping cacti and hitting jellyfish. The next one is returning from the previous titles, being the Swingamajig. This was my least favorite tool in the previous game due to a lack of control, but here they upgraded it and made it far more snappy and easy to use. The thing you grapple to is Sponge, which is a fun callback. And lastly, we have the Plasma Boots, which lets you hover in the air for a ridiculous amount of time. Oh, and it lets you shoot lasers. Now this one is a little bit overpowered and I don't like it as much. This is a little bit hard to use and it's not as satisfying as the others. Overall, not bad, but a little bit more variety would do. Wonder who that could be.
Hey, Sans! How you doing? Unfortunately, I don't have a copy of that right now. Granted, I used to, but it kinda disappeared a few months ago. I mean, you can look for yourself, but I sadly don't have it. Yeah, that is actually a great game, but very underrated. Hey, good luck on your quest. Hopefully you can find one.
Right, now where was I? Oh, right, variety. Speaking of variety, what's in here? Oh, nice, a costume shop. Wow, this is some variety they got here. So many different costumes. You can either use your collectibles, pun intended, or unlock them in levels with the iconic prize bubbles. There are far too many things to mix and match. Some of these costumes are super cool, and some of them are super questionable. I personally love these type of gamer glasses and these mech wings. And you can even hold swords and stuff, just like the previous games. There are also these fun emotes, like some dances, a dab, thumbs up, a lie down all depressed. You can even have different emotions while doing these things, which makes it even more comedic. Like, look how pissed he is while doing the happy dance. And then there's a Zoom Zoom, which is secretly a killer. Listen to the things he says. He is officially on my be weary of list. Now, what fun is costumes if you can't show them off? Let's hop into some online play with people. Man, this is fun. You are essentially a team while playing the level. But when you reach the end at the scoreboard, you all become bloodthirsty demons doing anything to become the center of the photo and making others miserable. This game shouldn't be rated E for everyone. Hey, editing me, can you please put an M here? That's more like it. Now, what else is in this game? Ah, music. How could I forget? Back in school, the teachers engraved 2 very important rules into your brains. 1, never use Wikipedia. And 2, never plagiarize. What the hell is this? Most of the soundtrack isn't original. Granted, the few originals slap really hard, especially the final boss remix of the main theme. But so many different known and unfamiliar tracks are implemented into this game, and are sometimes unrecognizable until you research it. Then there are the best stages, the music ones. Who would have thought that playing a level to David Bowie's Let's Dance, or Britney Spears' Toxic, or Uptown Funk by Bruno Mars would be fun? These aren't necessarily like the Rayman music stages where you need to move perfectly to the rhythm, but instead move around obstacles that are moving to the beat. Now these levels are few and far between, but are done so right. But the music fits really well, even if it isn't the music level. Some of these songs are super good and deserve more attention, compared to most modern music. Along with the collectibles and orbs, there are Rubik's Cubes that unlock Knitted Night Trials. which are fast and challenging. These are fun to show off your skills in multiplayer and then test how good you are. There are 15 in total, with a 16th final challenge where you have to do all 15 within 10 minutes and no damage. I specifically hate this crab one. It's so freaking hard! Now, like I said earlier, Vex is trying to take over and attempts to kill Sackboy multiple times throughout the adventure, along with attempting to guilt him by demonstrating how much fun his colleagues are having. Now, every world ends with a boss fight, and 3 of them are the same against Vex. Wait a minute, Vex, Gex!
How did I get in Bill Gates' head?
Sure, fighting the same boss multiple times makes the antagonist more threatening, like Bowser in Mario 64. But the other bosses are so creative and I would love to see more of it. So basically in every world, Sackboy met a new person, fought Vex's minions, fight the boss, brought peace to the world, and then off to the next. And we finally made it to the final boss, which is the same as the other 3 fights. But that was just a flank out. Great, I love it when what we thought was the climax was just the beginning. Then we play the level Jumping to Conclusions. I love these level names, they're really creative, but this has to be my favorite pre-final boss level. Jumping to Conclusions, such a common phrase right before the conclusion of the story, is fantastic. This level tests all of your abilities and even has a Wheel of Fortune section. And hearing some of Vex's taunts are hilarious. So we finally make it through the chaos and it's off to the final showdown. We start by slapping his face. Haha, comedic! Then the runaway section, then the true fight.
Look at that view! It's enough to drive you mad!
Okay, this seems so familiar. I could swear I've seen this somewhere before. Aha! Super Lucky's Tale. So we destroy the final boss, Scarlet dies, and off to the Wonder Plane. Oh, thank God, a remix of Gardens! Finally, a good reference to the older games. And another reference being a download of the Baroque costumes. Now these are the first costumes you collect in Little Big Planet 1, and I can't wait to see what other kinds of creative costumes they're going to come out with in the future. Now if you haven't figured it out by now, I really like this game a lot. In fact, it's my favorite game of 2020. Better than Hyrule Warriors, Animal Crossing, and Clubhouse Games. Now despite disappointing almost everyone by not reinventing the genre, this game masters the 3D platformers and is a great time. Now is this game better than 3D World? No. Is it better than A Hat in Time? No. It's a close third for me though, so hey, that's pretty good. Okay, this game needs way more attention than what Sumo Digital is giving them, so I have the perfect solution.